Demonstrating the muffin method, we'll make some lemon poppy seed muffins. The ingredients that we'll need are fat, in this case shortening. This is regular granulated sugar, flour, AP flour, a small amount of salt, lemon extract for flavor and a little bit of moisture, julienne lemon zest, baking powder, it's the leavener, and poppy seeds, some eggs, whole eggs, and whole milk. So this is sort of a modified version of the standard muffin method in that the flour or the fat is room temperature, it's solid. So the fat and the sugar kind of get briefly creamed as though it were a cookie dough, but with the addition of this much liquid ingredient, it will end up being a muffin batter. So you just cream the fat and sugar together. You don't need to take it as far as you do with a cookie dough, just mix it till it's a paste. While that's going, we can mix all of our dry powdered ingredients together. So the baking soda and the salt can just be stirred into the flour. So it's definitely mixed. See, it's become sort of a stiffer, grainier version of shortening. Again, a standard muffin, you could melt the shortening. Typically butter or oil is used in liquid form. So the next thing you'll want to do is incorporate the eggs. And you want to make sure that they get fully incorporated, so you'll add one at a time and wait for it to distribute evenly throughout. The first one's mixed in fully. Go ahead and add in the second one. So you can see here with the addition of eggs, it's become sort of smoother, glossier, definitely yellow. The next step is to alternately add your wet and your dry ingredients in stages. Usually start with the dry. I add about a third to a half of it. And you let that mix in. Add about a third to a half of the wet ingredients. In this case, it's milk. So after you add the first stage of dry, it should turn into a stiff dough, similar to cookie dough. Then with the first addition of the liquid ingredients, it becomes a batter. When I add the rest of the dry ingredients, it'll go back to a stiff dough. And then when I add the rest of the wet ingredients, it'll be back to a batter. A muffin batter made in this style with the creaming done at the beginning is a little bit stiffer than your average muffin batter. It won't be pourable, but definitely runnier than cookie dough. So all our dry and wet is in. lemon extract at the end there for a big boost of lemon flavor. Now the batter is fully mixed at this point. You can see it's kind of like a very thick pancake batter or waffle batter. You don't want to overmix any more than you have to. You don't want to develop any glutens. A muffin is a moist cake-like product. It's not a loaf of bread. You don't want it to be chewy and tough. So avoid overmixing those glutens in the flour. Just very quickly add the lemon zest and the poppy seeds. And once those are distributed evenly throughout the batter, go ahead and shut it off. So we're ready to pan up this batter for baking. You could use pan spray. You'll need to put something in these muffin cups to prevent the muffins from sticking. These disposable paper cups are kind of nice. Gives the customer something to hold on to, so they're not just grabbing muffin with their hand. So portion scoop. This is a 4-ounce muffin pan, so I grabbed a 4-ounce portion scoop. I should be able to fill these cups easily with one heaping scoop. You'll want to fill them up 3/4 of the way. If you overfill them, then the tops of your muffins will rise up above the lip and spread out over the top of the pan. If you don't fill them enough, your muffin won't rise enough and it won't have that attractive domed top that's very characteristic of a muffin. And you want to bake these immediately. The leavener has already started to work from the acid in the lemon extract and the zest. And the acid in the milk too, lactic acid. Oven's preheated. Throw the whole pan in and set some kind of timer to remind you. So the muffins are out, still very hot, but we'll break into one anyway. Get a look at the internal structure. To test if they're done, you can use an old trick. Stick a toothpick or a skewer or a paring knife into the center, and if it comes out clean, the muffin is done. So peel away the paper. You can see inside, very cakey, no uneven tunneling. Lemon poppy seed muffins.